My name is Chindarat Charoenwongse and I teach piano pedagogy, piano literature, and I coach chamber music. I appreciate much the opportunity to share and the camaraderie that we have in our group, the Embodied Brain faculty group, and I always learn much from the group. And I find that we have a shared interest of understanding how the brains function, and I believe our students also have that curiosity, and that's the way our brains work. We want to be able to use them and learn things all the time and being curious about things. So if my quest as a teacher is to help them use their brains as effectively as possible, then my job is to help them understand how to use them. So I look at the brain in two ways. One is the physical care, and the other is the mental, emotional care. So when I'm in a classroom, I would always stop and ask them to think back, which is then the use of metacognition. So then they can tell me instead of I'm giving them all the information. And I always try to set it up so that they will have to go out and look around for some more information. Then I'm back to the metacognition side. For example, if I was going through the steps of how to teach rhythm, I will get them to be involved as if they are the little children themselves, because they are going to teach these. Then I will stop and say, come, sit down and think about what we went through. Can you give me all these steps that we just went through? And that's when they realize, oh, I thought I knew this. Then now they are convinced, oh, I really have to write these in super detailed way because of the experience they went through, having to think through and think about how they actually think about that each step. That's the time I give them on the metacognition side. Then now in the applied lesson, we all know that this all involves a lot of body. So we really are embodied brain, having to use the brain and then learning to do all these physical elements. I would share one thing that if you read the article that I wrote, I would ask, what do you do or involve when you play music? Then they start to think about all these musical elements. I say, no, let's think simple, scientific, nature-wise. Then they'll come up, as I guide them, they'll come up with the 5 things, which would be physical, oral, visual, mental, and time, because music is tied to time. If you do not have time, it will not work. And so if they understand these 5, then from then on, as we work to prevent problems or solve problems as they learn a new piece, then we will go through and use these different elements each time to solve each problem, and I would call it like a layer. And so now as we go through each step, then once they can play, I say, yay, we did it. Now can you tell me what did you think differently just now when you could do it so well, when you play so well, you listen so well? If they thought, oh no, I didn't know what happened, I said, no, let's play it again, until they can actually tell me what was different on the last play when it was so well. And usually I have students, if it's in applied lesson, they were happy. I can see that they were happy that they were able to overcome the problem. And they usually, in their writing, I also have them do a reflection report at the end of the semester with a self-guided practice strategies. And they would say, with their own words, that they have changed. The online class, I think, is a little bit more challenging, but it's not too bad if you would build into your lesson plan or classroom plan that you would allow that either a class discussion or you guide them through these thinking process, the metacognition part. Even though it seems to take time, but at the end they actually now have a set of principles that they can apply when they are on their own. And aren't we all teaching them to become their own teachers?